quick and dirty my thoughts about this whole Dominion closing announcement that Riot did, and just get my piece out there. I'm sure I've ranted on it about at length previously, but I figured I'd do my formalized-ish video, which has all the production values that I care to spend in approximately 2 hours. So, when I first heard that Riot was shutting down Dominion, I thought, this is an early April Fool's joke. Then I saw it wasn't. And as I read, I saw all the excuses that Riot came up with as to why they failed. Failed so hard, I read their post-reactive justification as to why Dominion didn't do well while simultaneously contradicting themselves. And you know what? It ultimately didn't matter. Doesn't matter. Intentions don't matter. The results do, and the result is there will be no more Dominion after February 22nd, 2016, and for me, there's going to be no more League of Legends. And here we're going to go tripping down memory lane. It may not explain why I'm so attached to Dominion, but maybe it will, who knows. So, I didn't grow up with access to video games, or computers for that matter, or television. Didn't watch movies, didn't watch videos. The first movie I saw in the theater was the Two Towers, so, I got my first computer when I was around 18, 19, something like that. I discovered pinball. Now don't laugh, but that was the beginning of my love for computer games. I played the shit out of pinball. In 2005, I was introduced to the concept of games with other people via RuneScape, which I still play to this day. In December of 2010, I was asked by my roommate at the time, "What do you want for Christmas?" And he said, "I want you to learn how to play League of Legends." I'm a fan of things that don't cost me money, so I did. And then I bought Karma and Maokai, and it kept going on from there, so I guess the not costing money thing didn't really last. I was level 23 when Dominion came out. I fell in love with the map from the first time I played it. No more tedious laning phase, no more trying to last hit and failing by hit points. No more getting screamed at for not knowing every last detail about team fighting. It was new, it was exciting, it was Dominion, and something I kind of really excelled at to begin with. More than Summoner's Rift, anyway. So I tried going back to Summoner's Rift after that. It just wasn't the same. I never really enjoyed laning, or blankly death timers, or the endless purgatory you'd find yourself in when losing, which I did more often than not. Let's face it, I was bad. So I ended up not going back to Summoner's Rift. I ended up specializing early in bot laning, surprisingly enough, because that's where nobody else wanted to be. But, you know, seeing as it was Dominion, I could spam all the abilities I want, and I didn't have to worry about, you know, mana resources, so it ended up working out. I also have this tendency to end up doing things that nobody else wants to do that needs to be done because I like winning, and if that's what is required for winning, that's what I do. And of course, once I played bot lane long enough, then I was kind of reluctant to do anything else, so it kind of ended up being a bit of a trap in that way. Yorick was the first champion I bought specifically for Dominion and specifically for bot lane Dominion, but I also ended up playing a bit of Maokai, so they were my go-to champions for a long time. Long enough that whenever I was in a tournament or draft, they would be banned, which got kind of annoying. It's like when people know you for your Maokai play and then they shut you out of Maokai. It kind of forces you to move on. I ended up playing on 2 different teams for the Dominate Dominion tournaments at different times as a bot laner. The first one was Epic Fail, which was people from my workplace. Didn't last very long. I was like the only actual Dominion player on it. And the other was of regular Dominion players. We were called Why So Serious, which basically spoke to our skill level, among other things. We didn't get too far, but we had fun most of the time. After Dominate Dominion ended, large amounts of the Dominion community had determined that their time was really better spent on games where the creators of said game actually gave a damn, including Summoner's Rift. I ended up looking around and deciding that I still like Dominion. I don't want to play Summoner's Rift. I don't really want to play another MOBA. I tried a few. So I ended up staying on Dominion. It's like, well, I'm going to stay on Dominion. I'm going to play. I'm going to get better at it. These are my goals in life because I enjoy this game. So I played, and I played, and I played. A few months ago, I managed to get a modding position on the LOL Dominion subreddit, so I slapped a fresh coat of paint on the thing, and then I would go into the regular League of Legends subreddit. I would search on Dominion, and then I would let people who seem to actually care about Dominion know that, hey, we actually have this subreddit you can go to and talk to other people that aren't going to say it's fast, it's fun, or what's Dominion, or, all those other stupid comments that tend to pop up in the regular League of Legends subreddit. So, the numbers slowly went from 116 to 190-ish. Every time I would see another follower on the subreddit, it would make me a little happy inside. It's like, we were still a community that enjoyed Dominion. We wanted to talk about Dominion, how things related to Dominion. Figured Riot was never really going to give a fuck about us. At least that's what I figured, but we have a community. We all had this game mode that, united us. We are still Dominion, in a way. Nous sommes Dominion. So, as I'm recording this, I have 906 wins and 961 losses. I'm not the best, either in terms of games played or win-to-loss ratio. I haven't always been the most passionate about the game. I sometimes would stop really playing for 6 months at a time. For reasons. I'm not the most dedicated, as I just said, but I'm not even that highly skilled, but it doesn't matter. I don't consider those 1,867 games I played, plus over 1K games, to be a waste of my time. Time you enjoy is ultimately not time wasted. Time you spent getting better at something is not time wasted. I know this is said a little too often, but you only live once. And sometimes you can be too driven to find or create meaning in your life without realizing that the thing you're doing now, the thing you want to do, finding enjoyment in that, finding meaning in that, sometimes we try too hard without looking at what's in front of us and finding meaning in that. That's what I'm getting at. Enjoy what you're doing, I guess is what I'm getting at. So yeah, I was devastated to find out Riot was shutting down Dominion. It's not really the first time I've seen the door slam down a segment of my life. And for it to be completely out of my control, which is, it's not like I can say, well, if I had tried harder, maybe something different would have happened. No, it wouldn't have mattered how hard I tried, how passionate I was, how much time I put into the game. It's like none of that would have mattered. It's completely out of my control. It's out of, all of us, the Dominion community, is out of our control. We did the best we could, and ultimately it was somebody else, right, that dropped the ball on us. And they dropped it so hard it cratered. Yeah, I do kind of resent Riot for doing this. I will probably never accept what I feel are their shoddy justifications as for why it failed. For me, it's completely on them. They have become so wrapped up in identity that they are losing what made them an actually decent company in the first place, and a fun company, and someone that actually, cared about, their game mode. It just seems like, maybe they are a little too driven by, becoming good at one thing, that they are letting everything else fall off. They're not going to notice or care that I'm gone. It's like, oh, I'm going to leave and, they're going to miss me. No, they're not going to miss me. It's like I'm one of the 0.5% that they don't consider worth their time, Or even their passive support by not ripping out the game mode that I like. The dollars that I'm not spending aren't gonna even, it's a drop in the Pacific Ocean. They're not gonna even fucking notice. Although, I'd like to point out that as someone else has said, most successful companies don't celebrate their $1 billion revenue stream by eliminating a quarter of their playable maps, but I guess Riot has to be special and different, don't they? So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do after this. Don't know where I'm going, I just know Riot's not going there with me. Dominion, though, the skills, the friendships, the memories, those are coming with me. My heart will always remember its home on the Scar, and I will always remember those of you who are with me there. And yeah, I hope we can keep in touch. Thanks. Thank you, Dominion.